Hey, good morning everyone. This is Tiffany with Pink Planner Boutique, and well, I'd say it's been a minute, but it's been about 100,000 years since I filmed a video last. Full disclaimer, if you hear anything weird in the background, well, that would be my parrot Stella. She's learned how to use her voice and she loves hearing herself talk, or jibber, jabber, babble, whatever she's doing back there. In any case, you're going to hear her and, well, enjoy because she is hilarious. Okay, so without any further ado, if you would like to see what I've got going on here, just stay tuned. Alright guys, so like I said, it has been about 84 years since I have filmed a video, so if I'm a little rusty, I apologize. I'm going to do the best I can. It's not going to be perfect, but we're just going to roll with it. So some things have changed. I am personally no longer using the Daily Duo as my planner. I still have a 7x9 that I will be showing some of the new kits as I get them made. So I will be using that planner as my show planner just to show you guys what the stickers look like. But my main girl is right here. And let me just move some of this stuff out of the way. This is my B6 Stalogy. I have been using the Stalogy for a couple years now. I take some time off and then I come back to it. I've got her all decked out with some of my favorite charms. Yeah, so let's just go ahead and open this up. What we're going to be doing today is setting up my August monthly setup. And to do that, I have a stack of stickers. So I'll be using my monthly calendar. Goes on 2 pages. My sticker a day, my meals, and my splash page setup. So something new that I'm going to be offering is washi stickers. So it's really super thin, like washi tape. So I use this on my weekly setup. It is very finicky, so I use tweezers, but it's washi tape. So I will be offering washi tape stickers for some of my kits for some of the stuff. So, oh, and I need just 1 second. So I use it basically like this. It's very similar to how the Daily Duo is set up, in that I have a time schedule, which I sometimes follow, sometimes don't, and then my to-do list, and then I keep track of what our average daily usage is for our electricity, because I like to keep track of that, my water, steps, weather, meal, what I watch during the day, and like tonight there's a football game, and then I journal on this side. And then on the weekends, because I don't do chores on the weekends, I just leave it for journaling. Obviously, I've used up a lot of space for decor and things like that. And that's because, you know, truthfully, honestly, in this stage of life that I'm in, I don't have a whole lot to journal. I mean, we don't do a lot of big crazy things, and I sometimes like to write the little things that we do during the day, but a lot of the times it's like, I'm not going to journal that we sat and we watched TV, or, you know, we went to the grocery store, or, you know, just whatever. So, and then because I'm trying to use this whole book, it's got 288 pages, I believe. I'm trying to use it in 3 months. I have a set amount of pages per week to use, and I'm using part of my weekly pages as what I'm doing for my shop. So I write out the schedule that I'd like to follow, and sometimes I follow it. Yesterday I did not. Yesterday I worked on my football stickers. So these are really cool and super awesome in that if you have a specific team that you like to follow, you can buy that team's schedule stickers, and on here are all of the games that they have for the year, regular season, the 3 preseason games because those are out, but none of the postseason because obviously we don't know yet. And as long as the schedule is out, I have the date listed next to it. For example, the Seahawks, there's week 17 and week 18. Those 2 games have not been determined what date they're going to be at. They know who they're playing, they just don't know what date yet. So these come off, but the date does not. So that's just to let you know, week 1, September 7th, the Seahawks are playing the 49ers at home. And then week 2, the Seahawks are playing the Steelers at the Steelers, if that makes any sense. So you can go ahead and put down these stickers throughout your planner so you know who your team is playing. And I will have them for all the teams. Right now I have about 11 teams. It takes a little time, but I'm working on it. So yesterday I worked on those all day. And then today I decided I'm going to hurry up and film this so that way I can get my month set up, because I believe starting on this page here is where I'm going to need my August setup. So I'm going to take this out of the cover and get my book put down, and let's get the splash page set up. And just to make sure that I've given myself enough pages, I'm going to count really quick. So yep, okay, perfect. So these are done with the washi sticker paper. So hopefully everything comes up nicely. And I am just going to wing this because I don't want it to be straight and boring. I want to throw a little different out there. Oh, don't rip. Okay. Rip the sticker just a little bit. It's finicky. Okay. That's a me issue, not a sticker issue. So, like I said, my planner lineup has changed, and let's see, I filmed a video a while back and never uploaded it because things changed super quickly. I was going to be using, well, I wasn't ever really sure if I was going to be using the Daily Duo still. I love it, I do. But what I love about this notebook is that it gives me a place to journal. Now, I know I said I don't have a lot to journal about, but sometimes I do like to write things down, and I like having the space to do that, and the Daily Duo doesn't always give me the room to do that, or it doesn't give me the room to do that, I should say. So I knew I wanted to go back to my Stalogy, and Ooh, I love the way that looks. So I knew I wanted to go back to the Stalogy, and I was flipping through a couple of older ones, and my thinking was I wanted to use one that I already had. I've got all the sizes. I have the B6, the A5, and the B5, and I thought, well, maybe I'll just use the A5 size because I make the A5 Daily Duo stickers and they fit perfectly in there, and then I wouldn't have to make a whole new kit. I could just use what I already have. But I hate the grid sizing on the A5. The grid sizing is a deal breaker for me. I don't like it. So then I thought, well, I really enjoyed using the big B5 that I had. I mean, that thing is ginormous and I loved it. So I got a new one and I made a kit for it, got it all set up, and then I started looking at all of the covers that I have for B6, which I have quite a few, and I thought, well, maybe I'll just hop in the B6 for 3 months and see how I like it, and then I'll go to the B5, maybe. We'll see. So here I am. And it's been a month. I started using it I used the B5 the second to last week of June, just to give it a go, see how I thought it worked for me, sizing wise. And one of the main issues and one of the main reasons why is that it gave me too much space. I could have slimmed down the amount of space that I was using per day, but I don't want to be in one book forever. I want to use it for 3, maybe 4 months max, and then be done with it. But the only way to ensure that was to do a 2-page a day, 2 pages, like a full open spread per day. So on a B5, if you were to flip this way, this is the size of one B5 page. So you put those together side by side, and that's B5 sizing. It was too much space daily. Like, I could fill up my hourly schedule and my to-dos and all of that stuff. It was the journaling side that gave me pause, because it was too much journaling space, and I found I was using too many stickers trying to fill it up. And I didn't want it to be all about stickers. I wanted it to be, journal stuff. So I finished out that week, and then I purchased this B6 because I thought, well, if I'm going to do it, I want it to all be in one new book. I don't want to have part of a year because I had an old B6 that I had gotten and not started, or had used for part of last year before the holidays, something like that. So I didn't want part of this year to be mixed in with part of last year. So anyway, so I picked up a new one, and here I am. And I've got to use a certain amount of pages each month and week in order to have it used up by the end of September, which is the goal. So what I'm doing right now, I don't know if they're all going to fit on this page. I'm going to use as many as I can. Truthfully, I don't really care how it looks, because I never, almost ever come back to this page. But if you haven't noticed, August is my sunflower theme, which leads me to what my schedule or designing is going to be looking like moving forward. I had initially started out making just the same amount of kits per week or per month as there are weeks for that month. So if there was 4 full weeks in, August, then I would make 4 kits. And then I thought, well, why am I going to limit myself? Why not let myself make as many as I'd like? Well, the problem with that is that I just went crazy making all these designs for all these kits, and then I never ended up uploading any of them or listing them. So I am going back to my old ways in that for each month, if there's 4 weeks, there will be 4, maybe 5 designs. I will most likely do 2 designs for the monthlies just because we're heading into holiday season, which means, Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas. Now, some people don't want holiday themes in their monthly, so with the monthly theme, I will also offer one that is more like seasonal, like winter or fall-ish versus holiday, if that makes sense. Okay, so that's one whole page gone. And that came out pretty cool looking. So there's August. All right, so the next thing I'm going to do is my month. Now I've made these to be super easy, so that way I can just stick them down because I despise drawing them in. And sometimes I like a Sunday start, sometimes I like a Monday start, but I've noticed that for the most part, if I go with a Monday start, then there's only 5 weeks and I don't have to make 6 rows on the calendar, which makes it so much easier for designing. So I designed up the whole year, like the rest of the year in these calendars. And when it comes to it, I just have to put the designs in and, all the dates are already set up and ready to go. So see how easy and fast that was? And August is like the Sunday of summer. Okay, so I also made some washi strips to go on the top of here, and I believe, so this was my July. Came out kind of cute. That was my June. I used some Live Love Posh. So this is my July. Now I gotta go to August. And I can't find my little tabs, but I'll find them. Okay, so, I meant to look at that. Okay, so the washi that I want to use is going to be this one. So I have created a kit for B6 sizing. I know that it is not necessarily a size that people generally use, and that's okay. It's more for those who maybe use bullet journals. I have included in the kit a week at a glance page with this and these things that you see on here. I like having a week at a glance page. I like being able to see my week without having it be like a full vertical weekly calendar because I need the daily planning. That's just me. All right, so that page is done. Okay, make sure. Now let's see. So I like having the weekly calendar or the weekly week at a glance page without having all of that. Okay, now I need my sticker a day. I still have to go back and fill out the rest of my July one. But I like these because it gives me the opportunity to use up some smaller stickers that maybe I wouldn't normally use. And it can be, you know, like a little emoji or icon sticker or whatever, anything that kind of represents how that day went. Oh, so cute. Okay, and then this is going to be my daily gratitude. I really need to catch up on that too. Man, July just kind of flew by like crazy fast. I really don't even know where July went. It seems like it just started and now it's over. Guess I didn't need to really put that down. So I have how much in August? 31. Well, let me write these down really quick before I get too far into it. Okay, so what I'm doing is as I'm writing the numbers, because I write just a small line of whatever I'm grateful for that day per day. And I want to make sure that I have enough room. And I'm using one of these Muji pens. In here on this paper, it is the pen that works the best, aside from, I'll have to find it in a second. Okay. So I did not need to put that washi tape down. I'm not pulling it up though because it is already down. Oof. Okay. So don't be like me. Don't just throw it down like an animal. Take your time and put it down. Okay. So that will be my daily gratitude and my sticker a day. Okay, so the next page is where I'm going to put down the meals that I am planning for this week, or for the month. Now, if you have a bullet journal and you are interested in these stickers as well, they will be available upon request. I've just printed them on larger sheets for me for a quick setup. Okay. So What's new? Well, I think I mentioned at the beginning of the video that you may hear a parrot. That's new. Back in May, Mother's Day weekend actually, my husband had been sending me reel after reel of these cockatoos. And they're hilarious and they're funny. And I said, okay, let's go take a look. Because when he starts sending me reels of things over and over again, that is usually him telling me, this is something I'm interested in, prepare yourself, it's happening. So I thought, you know what, I'm just gonna jump ahead of this and tell him, let's go check them out now, and then we'll be done with it. Because never in a million years did I ever think I would own a bird. So we went to the first pet store and we looked. And it was one where you don't really get to interact with the birds. And when I say interact, I mean you don't really get to hold them or anything. You can look at them and talk to them, but they're behind a thing. So we were looking at them and we were talking to some employees and asking them questions, and they let us know, well, you know, cockatoos are very funny, but they are one of the most returned birds because you get them as babies and they're very cuddly and they love that attention and they love your attention. And then, you know, they get into their teen years and they become a little less cuddly because, you know, they're birds and the humans can't really cope with that. So they try to force the bird to be cuddly and then the bird gets irritated and they bite. Well, cockatoos have very strong and scary beaks and those bites hurt. So a lot of people are returning cockatoos because they're not reading the bird or learning the bird's body language or understanding when the bird is telling them to back off, and it's a whole thing. So we started asking more questions like, okay, well then here's what we are looking for in a bird. Should we get one? What bird would you recommend? What bird fits that description? And they were letting us know that we would probably be interested in an African gray or an Amazon. So, you know, we kind of tucked that info away and then we thanked them for their time and looked up another bird shop, you know, because when we get something in our brain, it's like, okay, we need to do this. So we were on a mission that day. We started looking up more bird shops, and there's not a whole ton of them around where we live. There's probably 3 or 4 that we can go to. So we went to another one and it was small and dingy and gross and a whole bunch of birds, and it was very overwhelming, and I said no, I don't think I want to even, no. So we went to another one and it was smaller. They didn't have a whole bunch of birds, but it's one that we follow on Facebook, and they're very, very funny owners. And we just happened to pop in at a time when there really wasn't many birds anywhere because it wasn't the season for babies to be available quite yet. So the final shop that we ended up at, we went in and they had, I think they had only one Amazon. Yeah. And he was, he was 10 months old, and they took him out of the cage and let us hold him, and he was very standoffish, and they were telling us, well, he's very standoffish because, you know, he watched all of his brothers and sisters get adopted, and he was the last one standing. So we visited with him, and that was the Saturday before Mother's Day. And we had already gone and purchased a cage and everything. We wanted to make sure that if we had a bird to adopt, we were ready. So we hung out with this bird for a couple hours, and then we left, and on the way home, I'm like, well, his name kind of seems like it should be Buddy. And, you know, he seemed kind of like he liked us, so maybe we need to go back and visit him tomorrow. So we went back the next day on Mother's Day. Well, long story short, we ended up adopting him. We brought him home, And we had Buddy for a week, and then we had to go on a business trip. And Buddy went back to the shop where we adopted him from to be boarded, because they also board birds there. And we thought that was the best place for him to go since he already knew him. Well, in the week before we had gone, I was trying to bond with him as best as possible, but he just was not even close to being warmed up to us. And in fact, he scared me a lot. I was scared to even bring him out of his cage because his bite hurts. I have a scar right there from the first day of holding him at the shop. So we went on our trip, we came back, brought him home, and that day he was such a different bird. He was taking treats out of my hand, because they tell you, well, you've got to train the bird. You've got to, do clicker training and stick training and touch and all this stuff. But you can't do any of that training if the bird won't even take any treats from you. Like, he would not take a treat from me. I could sit there and hold it for hours, and he would run to the very back of his perch to get away from me. And it literally, he made me cry every day, because I thought, my God, this bird thinks I'm the most horrible human being in the world, and it hurt my feelings. And it was just, it was heartbreaking, because anytime that we would walk past him, or even from across the room walk, not even towards him, but just in his eyesight, he would go from wherever he was at to the very back of his perch or his cage or wherever he was, and he hated it here. He really did. And I don't understand why. He had an amazing cage, he had an amazing perch, he got really good food. The thing with birds is that if you don't make extra sure that you have that bond with them, your time with them will be awful, because it is a lifelong commitment. And if they don't like you, they just don't like you. So fast forward to Father's Day weekend. The Saturday before Father's Day, we put Buddy in his backpack and took a drive to the shop that we adopted him from, and it wasn't to give him back. It was just to take him to the shop, because we've kind of become friends with the owners. They're really cool people, and it was just to ask them, hey, what can we do, because this isn't working. Right? He's not warming up to us at all. It's just to hold him was forcing him to let us hold him, and he was not digging it at all. I'd set him down, I'd pick him up, and I'd walk him around, and I'd show him around and all this. And the minute that he even saw his perch, he would fly out of my hands to get back to it. I couldn't even walk back over to put him back on the perch without him flying out of my hands. He just didn't want to be around us. And if he was on his perch and I was sitting in the chair next to it, if I had to get up or anything, it would startle him, and he would, hurry up and move as far away from me as he possibly could. It kind of sucked, walking on eggshells, because I knew the bird didn't like me. So we took him there on a Saturday, and my husband was talking with the owner, and I was walking around looking at the birds, because we also like to just go and hang out with birds and hold them and just get to know other kinds of birds. No intentions of getting another bird, just getting to know other birds. It's fun. So I'm in the back room looking at all the other birds, and I noticed that in the cage that Buddy had been in, there was this beautiful Amazon. And I asked one of the brothers, hey, can I hold this one, please? So he gets this one out, and he goes, well, this one we believe is a female. She is 4 months old. Would you like to hold her? I go, yes, please. I would love to. And she had the kindest eyes. Oh my God. I just looked at her, I went, your name is Stella, and I think you're gonna have to come home with us. So what I did not know was that in the background, my husband was talking to the shop owner, and they had worked out a deal to where they would take Buddy back and we would take Stella home the next day. Now, I'm gonna say this. When we adopted Buddy, he was 10 months old. When we adopted Stella, she was 4 months old. Most baby birds are ready to go home at about 4 months old. So that means that Buddy had been at the shop for an extra 6 months longer than most baby birds are. I think it's highly possible that we were not Buddy's first home and that he had gone to someone before, because the way that he behaved was as if he had had perhaps a bad experience somewhere with someone. Because after taking Stella home, she's the most amazing thing. I didn't know you could have such love for a bird. And she's more than just a bird. She is Big Boss Applesauce. She is Queen Bee. She's amazing. I will try to insert either a video or some photos or something, but just 4 days after having her here, she was already learning words and repeating things after me. She says, "Hi, how are you? What are you doing?" She pretends to burp, and then she laughs insanely, and her laugh is identical to my laugh. So she starts laughing like me, which makes me laugh, and then she starts laughing, and then I start laughing even more, and one of us is peeing our pants at the end of it, and I'm not gonna say who. So it's really funny, and she absolutely loves me to death. I mean, she will fly off her perch to come find me, because she does what they call a flock call, and if I don't answer that, by golly, she is coming to find me. And it's just a complete night and day difference from what Buddy was to how she is. And having that experience with Stella, knowing how she is, I mean, she's basically a brand new baby. These birds live 60 to 80 years, depending on how well you take care of them. So just knowing how she is and comparing her temperament to Buddy, I have to believe that Buddy had some kind of bad experience, and that it wasn't that he so much hated us, he just didn't trust humans in general. And so anyway, that is my very long story of how we have our baby girl Stella. And she is the boss of all of us, and she knows it. So now that I've got that out of the way, we have one trip left this year to take, and we are going to Orlando, and she does really well in boarding. Like I said, she goes back to the shop that we got her from, and they have a nice little hangout area where she can hang out on a perch. And last time there was another Amazon named Marcy there, and Marcy, I think, was surrendered to them. So Marcy is a bit of a drama queen. She, I want to say, is 40 to 50 years old, something like that, but she cries like a baby. She sings opera. And she loves to just chatter. So, all right, I'm going to do, so this is where I will keep track of all of the TV shows that I'm going to be watching for the month of August. And then this is where I will keep track of all the movies that I watch for the month of August. I don't read, not that I can't, I can, but I don't read books because I can't do anything else while I'm reading a book. If I'm watching a show, I can have it in my headphones and I can do other things while I'm watching it. But with books, I'm forced to just do that. And I can't do that because that makes my brain crazy. So, that is that. And, let's see. Hey Siri. What date is the new moon in August? Oh, that didn't help me out. Okay. We'll go back over to my computer. Oh, I haven't even turned her on for the day. Okay. So, we'll look up really quick. Yeah. August 23rd. Okay. And full moon is August 9th. Okay. Right here. All right, and I have one birthday to mark, and I'm going to use green, and that is the 21st. And that would be my sister's birthday. And then I'm gonna put, I will probably put a balloon here and a cupcake here. So I can show, I don't have any of my B6 kits here, but you will see one in the next video because my next video will be me setting up next week. That will be up tomorrow. So let's just go over what we did here and then kind of recap. So we did the splash page and it looks pretty cool. I did the school, like the varsity font, because I thought that would look cool considering a lot of kids are going back to school already. And then we did my month page. My other theme for the monthly page is a moody purple. So that is in honor of my sister. She requested it. And then, let's see, my sticker a day my daily gratitude, which I wonder, I forgot I printed these too. This fits down here. I love this washi paper. Love, love, love it. And I actually use it as washi in here. One of the issues that I was running into when I was trying to decide if I was even going to film videos setting it up is that I don't always have washi that will match the themes that I make each week. So I thought, well, I don't have what it takes in order to create actual rolls of washi. I know some sticker shops can, but I cannot. So I thought, well, how am I going to do this? And the answer was to find washi tape sticker paper and then just create washi that way. So now each week I have, and it is an add-on to the B6 kits. You can add it if you want. You don't have to. Oops. Excuse me. More talking than I'm used to doing. It is an add-on that you can add to your kits. Should you choose to add it, you don't have to. But it is a nice touch because these books can bulk up super fast. I didn't want what I put at the top to be even bulkier. Sticker paper all by itself is pretty thick. So this is the perfect add-on to, good grief. Okay, just stick. There we go. It's the perfect add-on to what I wanted. And it's what finally cemented my idea that, you know what, I will go ahead and just make the kits for the B6. My initial plan was is that I was going to use a whole bunch of leftovers and old kits that I got from other shops. I didn't necessarily want to film that, but if I'm going to be using my own stickers, then I'm content in doing that. So I'm just going to trim this off because it came up a little bit. That's fine. Okay. All right, and I think that is it. So, yeah. So I'm very happy to be back. My plan is to upload at least 1 or 2 videos a week, and my September releases will be up by next week. And then the following week will be October releases. So I will be at least 3 months ahead in releases. That is my goal. And I cannot wait to be back full time on YouTube. I've missed it. I just, life gets crazy and then you fall out of the routine, and it's really hard to take that step to start back your routine and really get it going again. So, I said today, no excuses. Don't even turn your computer on. Just get in there and film a video and go and do it. And now my monthly is set up for August, and I'm super excited. And I got to show you guys my football stickers. They are available on Etsy. Right now my turnaround time is very fast. I had a lady order stickers yesterday. I got them printed and cut and in the mail yesterday. So let's see, what else? I think that's it. Yeah, pretty sure that's it. Yep. All right, so thank you so much for watching. If you stayed for the whole thing, thank you. I appreciate it. It is a longer video, but you know what? I got a lot to say. And, oh, all the puppies are fine. Everyone's good. Health is good. I did have to have 2 wisdom teeth extracted and a tooth extracted that they wanted to do a root canal on, and I said no, I'll just have one implanted instead. So I did that 2 weeks ago, and worst pain of my life. My face swelled up horribly. Everything's back to normal now. In like 5 months or so, I'll have the implant put in and all good. So don't slap on your dental care. Anyway, that is my PSA for the day, and that is it, guys. I hope you enjoyed today's video. I am sorry for rambling, but like I said, I will get back to the swing of it, and I will get used to it again. So bear with me, stick around. We've got a lot more fun to go. So without any further ado, thank you so much for watching. Make sure you hit like and subscribe. And don't forget, if you want, leave me a comment, send me a message. I love to hear from you guys, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.